Welcome back to another podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, the podcast is presented to you by shopcarls.com, the internet's local tackle shop. But this is a very special episode of Fishing After Dark, buddy, because we are officially 1 year old now, or 1 year old. 1 year? Years?
Doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Never does.
365. We've only done, though, like, I went back and looked. We did we've done like 35 podcasts this year, which is just, it's just shy of one a week. I mean, there was a few times where things happened where we got behind.
Quite a few, but,
Yeah, there was quite a few times, let's be honest. But
it's fine.
Still, I mean, 35 episodes over an entire year. We've had on a crazy amount of guests we're going to talk about, but it's just been 1 year. It's kind of like our year in review episode here, and this thing should come out probably the first week of January. So we started this podcast January the 1st of last year. Do you remember that? That's when we dropped our very first podcast.
No, I didn't realize that. That's crazy.
Yep. So it's been almost a year to the day since we initially set up this podcast, and I mean, the set has grown so much. That's the obvious thing. The set is completely morphed since that first time when we just had a table and just a couple mics. I texted Wes Davis out of nowhere. I was just like, hey man, what do I need to make a podcast? And he literally sent me like an itemized list at Best Buy, like the Best Buy in my town. Like, hey, this is all the stuff you need. So we went and got it, set it up, started podcasting our little hearts out, and started spitting some hot fire.
It was pretty good. It's pretty good memories. And we came up with this dope marketing strategy of just letting Flair get on here once a month.
Yeah, there you go. That's the key to success. There's no doubt about that. But in all fairness, he wanted to join last time, so he had to get something off his chest.
Yeah, he needed us bad.
He did. He needed that conversation. But if you guys are unfamiliar with the show, I'm sure most of you guys know who we are, but make sure you're subscribing. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're commenting, all that good stuff. If you're listening to us, excuse me, make sure you're following, giving us a 5-star review, and all that good stuff. Speaking of 5-star reviews, if you leave us one on Apple Podcasts, there's a chance we might read it on the show. And I've got 3 brand new ones to read real quick. We've got YT Bush that says Davy Gravy's the man.
Oh.
He says this podcast is fire emoji. You should get Davy Gravy on the pod. Please read this on the podcast. And P.S. I would never plug my YouTube channel called Bush Outdoors on here.
Nice.
Excellent. Okay, thank you for that. We'll definitely. Davy Gravy probably needs to join our guest list for next year.
Yeah.
Or this year, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Guggen Boy. Oh, the subject says beat up, catch 'em all, please. Jeez. He said, I enjoy your content in the podcast. I would love to see a fishing YouTuber fight club. Perrick needs to fight One Rod. That would be a good one. Perrick and One Rod. I think One Rod probably kills him.
Yeah.
But no offense, Perrick. I think One Rod's been doing some training.
Yeah, he's training.
He said he's been in the gym. So next up, last one, we got Grandpa Tickles 5,000. That's what I'm talking about.
There we go.
This one says, love the podcast and all the guests. Got to get Davy Gravy on. Would be hilarious to listen and even funnier to watch him and AO interact on the YouTube version. That's a good point because I think the video of Davey on a podcast would be better than the actual audio.
I do too.
You know what I mean? Especially if he's sitting over there next to you.
Yeah. Just hype him up.
We got to do that soon, though.
Dang, dude. He's definitely going to say Davey doesn't have a filter and he doesn't care about being politically correct.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to cut some things. I imagine there's going to be a lot of beeps, but I would love to have him hop on the pod.
Yeah, I think, that's 2 people right there that took the time to leave a message and leave a comment and everything. So I think we should definitely have them on. But speaking of what?
I just think it's going to go so hard.
Oh, dude, it would.
I think it will.
It will. Because David's going to get nervous. You know what I mean? Like so you guys are seeing us from, that point of view. But if you sit where me and Badge are, there's a bunch of lights in our face right here. And there's like multiple cameras pointing all over the place. So it's a little bit of an intimidating situation if you're not used to it. And Davey, trying to put it nicely, he probably gets intimidated a little easier, you know what I mean, than a normal person. So I don't know. Maybe he would live up to the challenge. I don't know, but I think it would be funny either way. I think it would be awesome.
I think it would be best one yet.
Yeah. Well, let us know in the comment section if you indeed want to see that. I think we should do that anyways. But speaking of our guest list of this year, so I went back and kind of compiled a list of all the guests that we've had on the show because it doesn't really seem like 35 episodes is that much. It doesn't seem like a year is really that long in the grand scheme of things. But this is a list of all the guests we had on this year, just in case you forgot. Lunkers TV, Flair, Lake Fork Guy, Perrick, One Rod, Fishing with Norm, Yak Pack, Dustin Connell, Neighbor Daryl.
Oh, dude.
Fisherman Yin, Fisher Yin, and then Dangling with Dev. That's a hell of a list right there, man.
That is a hell.
What were you laughing at, Dev?
No, I was just thinking about old Yin laying some pipe.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite. That was one of our best podcast moments of making Yin very awkward, making him very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Let's play that right now. He's been anywhere. So
well, he's got a newborn.
And he's got a newborn. Yeah, that's true. That takes a lot of energy, man. At least like the first few months, it's a whole nother ball game. You guys don't know that struggle yet, and avoid it as long as you can.
Stay strong with me, Fisher Yin.
Yeah, Yin looked at you. He was like, bro, I don't know. He must be talking to you.
You're not laying any pipe?
Cut it. Bleep it. Okay. Oh, my God. Okay, so this is when Yin, I'll have to find this clip, but.
Dude, he got put through the ringer that trip.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He was only here for like 2 days, but we worked him.
We recovered a boat. I'd jump out of a lake, scare him, did a ton of stuff with old Yin.
We got the excavator stuck in a swamp.
Yep.
And had to dig our way out of that.
Yep.
Dude, that kid, when he left here, he was like, I will never go back.
No.
That's probably what he was saying. We had a good time, though. I mean, that was a good few days. We got a lot of good content done. It was just, remember how hot it was, dude?
It was hot.
It was so hot. It was the type of hot where you have to be drinking water all the time just to keep up with how much you're sweating. Just sweating through like multiple shirts a day.
It was hot.
God, it was such a hot summer. But yeah, I got to thinking about that guest list. I was like, man, there have just been some incredible moments on the show. But I want to take it back to the very first podcast.
Okay.
Because that's where this whole thing started. Do you remember what our very first podcast was?
No.
Oh, come on.
I think I do.
Yeah.
I think we just came straight out of the gate slinging heat.
We were. Was it the first one Guggen, or was that about Milliken?
I don't know.
I think the first one was about Milliken and Noah.
Yeah, I did too.
I think the first podcast we ever did, it was right on the heels of, well, not on the heels, but it was like a year or two after, me and Noah no longer had filmed together. And then Milliken had his big falling out with Ketchko and everything.
Yep.
So it was like a year removed from that when we did that podcast.
Yep.
And we ruffled a lot of feathers, man, coming in hot out of the gate.
Yep.
I mean, we basically, all we did was talk about, me and Noah and how, we kind of split up. But there was nothing really bad said about Noah.
No.
Now, Milliken, on the other hand, we definitely went at him a little bit harder, because the claims that he had made about, against Ketchko and everything. And Guggen specifically.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the podcast where we came in and really came out swinging, huh?
Yeah, it was definitely an attention grabber for sure.
Yeah, well, it did good. Got a lot of views and got a lot of responses. A lot of people. Oh my gosh! Speaking of guest lists, okay, let's just go ahead and put this out here for next year. We need to get Noah and Milliken on this podcast at some point. Not together. I'm just saying, we need to have them on this podcast this year. That should be our goal for this upcoming year. Because we already know we're going to have a ton of guests that we're going to be able to get on here and just kind of talking about whatever for you guys. But I think those are two I'd love to see actually happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like it would be tense.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, maybe. I don't know. It just depends. It depends on how they're feeling about everything. They could be completely moved on in their lives. And if that's the case, then they'd have no problem coming on and talking. And,
yeah.
I mean, I don't even see why we couldn't talk about any of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love Noah to come on here and me and him to just kind of talk about just whatever, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, and as far as Milliken, I mean, we could talk about fishing. We could talk about, I'm sure they've all moved on past that whole, Ketchko thing. I mean, all that stuff's done. Yeah. All that stuff legally has been dead for a while. So I don't know, man. I would be interested to hear how they're doing, I guess, like a year later from that podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would be too.
One glaring omission from our guest list, I just realized, is jigging with Jordan. Just an absolute, I am a garbage human being for not putting him on the list. He's been on the show like 3 times.
Yeah. We built the pot off his back.
So Jigging with Jordan was another big creator that we've had on here.
I think he's got a podcast coming in hot.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I have heard that.
It's cool. I FaceTimed him the other day, and the set is really cool.
Yeah, how is it late? Well, you can't tell us too much. It's pretty cool though.
It's on his YouTube channel.
Oh, it's already there. Is
Yeah.
it inside like a shop like this?
Yeah, and he had some people like come in and custom build. There's like
hell yeah,
ton of scuba tanks that are cut in half and put on the desk. It's
damn.
It's a cool looking little area. Yeah,
man. Yeah. Does he beat us though?
Yeah.
Damn it. Well, yeah. One day we'll be on that jigging money level.
Right.
Get a custom set built. In the meantime, I'll just keep on building my own.
That's all we need. Boom, baby. I feel like one of the most beneficial things to this podcast is it like forced me to meet a lot of big people in the space.
That's true. Yeah.
It was very beneficial in that way. I always think back on like meeting the Googans just in person versus on a podcast, and it's like, I don't know, just eased it in for me.
That's an interesting point. I didn't even think about that. Definitely an advantage, though. You know what I mean? To be able to get that introduction, through a friend or a colleague or whatever, but you're already like considered to be kind of like a cool guy. You know what I mean? Because you're on this podcast with me, so I'm just sure they assumed that, they like you like they like me. So it's interesting that, like you said, that's kind of a weird way to meet all these really big level people.
Yeah, for sure.
Through that medium, you know what I mean? Because it's not as awkward as it would have been in person.
Yeah.
Because you met some of these people in person.
Like lunkers.
Yeah, and that was that interaction is going to go down as one of the best I've ever seen. So,
dude, wow.
Dude, oh my God, we made it this far. We didn't even talk about my kidney stone. I just had this like searing pain up my side. I was just like, oh God. It's like, oh man, I completely forgot about that. No, I don't want to go down that track yet. No, I don't want to go down that track yet.
Yeah, we might save that for the next pod. Who knows? I think for me, one of the biggest things I realized was I'm not the only man that struggles with improper bowel movement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Who else shares that with you?
One Rod.
Oh, yeah.
And that poor homeless man.
And that poor homeless man. Son of a gun.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, we've had several segments now where we've talked about pooping on the water, and man, everybody's got a story.
Everybody.
You had a fantastic story on that podcast, and Mike had a great story. Rob had a good story.
Yeah.
Let's show you guys a little bit of that, of our pooping on the water stories.
I've been in a similar situation on a boat.
Yeah?
But I wasn't fishing.
What were you doing?
I was watching July 4th fireworks with my wife and her family.
Oh, God. You had the in-laws on the boat. How is this going to play out? I can't wait to hear this.
All right. So,
because there's only a couple ways to play this without completely embarrassing yourself.
Let me backtrack. All right. So, we had been spending the weekend. They used to have a lake house. Sold it when I started fishing YouTube, which is just fantastic.
That sucks.
Yeah. I got kicked out of all my ponds, and the lake house sold as soon as I actually had a career. But
nice.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we spent the whole weekend leading up. It's July 4th, so we're cutting back, big breakfast, ribs, wings, like your classic July 4th weekend. So I'm just filling up, man.
Just greasing the gut.
Greasing the gut up. So they used to have a 34-foot pontoon. It was massive.
Jesus, that's a big pontoon.
It was huge, and they kept it on the dock. They never trailered it, but we were getting on pontoon boat and riding around to the other end of the lake. Oh, grasshopper.
He got away.
Riding to the other end of the lake where the fireworks show was, right?
Okay.
So we get there, we're hanging out, like an hour goes by, and I have to poop.
Okay.
It just hits me, and I'm like, why did I eat that much before we came out?
Because it's 4th of July, man. You had to do it.
Yeah. And anyway, so I'm like, oh my gosh. So like maybe another hour goes by. I'm like, okay, I'm in a boat. My wife, whom I just married, not even a year. You're not pooping in front of her.
Yeah, you can't poop in front of her yet.
No. My father-in-law, my mother-in-law.
Who you could never poop in front of.
No, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even like taking my shirt off in front of them.
Right.
My brother-in-law, and then my wife's granddad.
Oh, grandparents in the mix
Grandparents. her cousin, and her aunt are all in this boat, right?
Okay.
And I've
Jesus,
always
that's a lot of freaking people. I keep forgetting it's a giant pontoon boat, or else you'd be in a really bad situation. Okay, so what did you do?
So I'm like, oh, gosh, man, I'm getting a little seasick. And it's just still as could be. I'm like, man, I'm getting motion sick, man. And
everybody's just like, what the hell is wrong with
what
this
is
guy?
this guy talking about?
Getting seasick? Boy, there ain't no damn waves out here.
So I hop in the water. And
how is that going to help the motion sickness? Is that just the only thing you could think of?
I just whipped for it,
or like
man.
maybe you wanted to cool off or something?
Yeah, I was like, maybe, if I'm in the water.
I might could buy that. I don't know.
So I'm in the water and I'm like, okay, what can I do? So there's an island between, all right, so there, our boat, another boat of family, not our family, just a small family, island. And I'm like, maybe I can run up on this island and just go crap and come back. Mm-hmm. And then another family pulls up on the island. As I'm thinking about it, they get out.
Dang it.
And so I'm sitting there and my heart's pounding. My entire wife's family is around me. I have like 3 minutes to take off, if you know what I'm saying.
Your butt's just puckering at this point. You're
Jesus.
just holding it in.
Yes. So, matter of fact, I've never even told my in-laws this story.
You probably never should.
Anyways.
Luckily, they don't listen to the podcast. So.
Yes, right. I hope not. So I go underneath the pontoon boat, full of my wife and her extended family.
Yeah.
Dude,
You just let her rip?
I just pulled my pants around my ankles, and I'm holding myself underneath the pontoon and just
how deep of water were you
released. I mean, I could touch bottom.
You could?
No.
Oh, you couldn't?
No.
So, man, you could have just had a sea creature looking up at you.
Oh, I probably did.
But then he saw what left your body, and he was like, oh, my God.
It's like, I'm getting out of here.
Leave this guy alone.
This might be a little too much information, but
please,
it's getting a little dark, right? So I'm like, okay, if they're floaters, it's a little dark.
Right, it'd be hard to see.
Right. Ends up they are floaters.
Oh.
So I'm underneath my family.
Well, see, that's unusual, I feel like, because I feel like when you have a really bad, like, you have to go, normally it's like diarrhea, not floaters. But your body just works differently, I guess.
This is so in detail. I'm so grossed out.
I'm just saying, isn't like an emergency bathroom visit always like loose, like diarrhea, liquid? That's just what I thought. I didn't know people had emergency bathroom trips
You might
where
need
they
to
just
get
drop the
yourself
log.
checked out.
So it's just me. I'm the one that's messed up.
Yeah, I don't know what you have going on.
I don't
I was
either.
underneath there just battling, just pushing everything away, fighting some little hot snakes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was graphic. It was disgusting.
So did the floaters come up like by you?
Yeah. So I'm just under
Did
there.
you take your pants? You take your pants off?
They're around my ankles.
You just dropped them
Right.
and then ripped it.
And then,
Dude, what is that like? It's like giving birth in the water. What is
have you ever pooped in water?
I've never pooped in water.
It is a weird feeling. It is disgusting on so many different ways.
This is horrible.
It was terrible, man. It's like, and it climbs up you.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Yeah,
So-
gravity. It's got to like come up.
Yeah, so I get away from it finally,
Oh,
get
this
away
is
from
horrifying.
it. I get out from underneath my family, pull my pants up as I'm going out.
Yeah.
And then I'm just sitting like 20 yards from the boat, just floating. And they're like, "You feel okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm feeling fine."
Wait, so when you were underneath the boat and you were just kind of like holding yourself there, could you still like hear the family?
Dude, yes, man. It's
So
a
it was
pontoon.
like you were right below them, basically.
Yeah, I was directly below my father-in-law.
You could have grabbed your father-in-law's leg
I
if
could've-
there wasn't like a deck there.
I could have just reached up, just clapped his cheeks. You know what I mean? I was just sitting there. I
And
was
you're
like,
just
"Oh,
dumping your little heart out.
yeah, and I mean,
Oh,
Aunt,
my
Grandpa,
God.
they're all talking, just watching the fire. What a nice evening, you know.
Little do they know you are just
And I'm under there like, oh,
evacuating your bowels.
gosh.
Oh, my God.
And so I get out and I'm floating, and dude, it's just like,
Well, look, here's the thing. I'm not going to make you feel bad because I know for a fact this has happened to probably every angler we know.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what we need to do? We need to pick up the old phone. We need to start making some phone calls and seeing if we're the weird ones or see if this actually happens to other people. All right.
I have had more close calls than you call. I've actually had more than a close call. I actually shit myself one day.
Wait, while on the boat?
Yeah, that was this year.
Oh, my God. Well, can you... I mean,
No one actually knows this story. This is kind of funny.
Nice.
I posted a photo on Instagram with like no sleeves.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. I ate something really bad, I guess, for me, and it stuck with me for like a week, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then, just like any other guy in the world, I would just let it be. You know, I just would say it'll just go away at some point.
Yeah. Wait. So I remember that photo of you sleeveless. That's why. That's what happened.
Yeah. I remember I went back into this pocket, and I was catching them out on the main leg pretty good, and I was like, man, I got to go find somewhere to take it like now. So I went back into this pocket, and there was all these at the front of the pocket. There was all these workers working on the house in the front yard, and I was like, oh shit, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. And it's like 8 in the morning or 9 in the morning, so it's kind of nice. There's people everywhere, and it was a weekend.
Oh, it's a weekend. Oh no.
Dude, so I hit the bank, and when I mean I hit the bank, I said to myself, oh shit, it's coming. Oh shit, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. And I like put the boat in drive, and then hit the gas really hard so I can get some momentum.
Yeah.
Put it back in neutral, killed it, took my life vest off, ran to the front of the boat. And as I was running to the front of the boat, it like started to come out, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I jumped off the front of the boat. Didn't put my poles down or nothing onto the bank. And as I'm like running up somebody's front yard to try to get to a wood line, I started to shit myself like, "No!" And I had to take everything off like right then. So I'm standing butt naked in this person's front yard.
Oh my god!
Butt naked because I had shit all over my shorts and my underwear. And like everywhere, and I was like wearing my long sleeve shirt, and it's like I have nothing to wipe my ass with, so I took my shirt off. So now I'm literally standing butt naked in somebody's front yard at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I then cut my sleeves off and then wiped my ass and then put my shorts in the water, washed them off.
Oh my god!
Through the sleeves. So I'm I was butt ass naked, like legit naked.
Dude, that is crazy. Was that were you like pre-fishing or what were you doing when it happened?
Yeah, I was practicing, and it was in Tennessee.
Oh man, that poor person's yard, whoever that was.
Did you film any of it?
Jesus. Yeah, did you include any of that in a video?
No, I didn't. No one knows that. That's an untold story.
Man, holy smokes. Well, dude, that's literally the best thing I could have ever heard this morning. That's got me in a fantastic mood. We were literally just talking about our worst, like trying to take a dump on a boat stories, and I think you got us all beat with that one.
When I was living in Ohio, I was right after college, and I was fishing the Olentangy River. They have a bike path for like walkers and stuff.
Yeah.
Trails, and that's the path that I walk on in order to walk up the river and fish. And it just so happens that day, the night before I must have eaten something bad. I think I had Mexican or Chinese, I forgot. But
dang it.
My stomach was like just dying, and there was no bathroom nearby for at least a couple miles. So what I did is I squatted under a bridge.
Squatted, baby.
I just unleashed a massive explosive load. I couldn't even hold it. And
oh my
Ohio,
god!
There's a lot of homeless people.
I
didn't realize it, but like 10 feet away from me was a homeless person sleeping.
Oh no! No!
They started stirring. Probably when they heard it, when I saw them moving, I just like bolted out of there as fast as I could.
Oh, it woke them up? It woke them up?
Dude, it would. I think it woke anyone who would have been sleeping in a 100-foot radius would have woken up.
Dude, so you've got another story that's better than that one? Oh my god.
The other one, I don't know if it's better, but it is. I mean, they're both pretty good. Like I said, I have two, and they're both about equal. I don't know. You can be the judge. The second one, I was in New Jersey fishing local lake, Haddon Lake.
Uh-huh.
And again, this is just a little pond, community pond, and surrounded by houses, and there's just nowhere to use the bathroom, and it was in the morning.
Yeah.
I just had to go. I just had to go, and I was like, I'm not driving. I'm not leaving. I wasn't going to leave because the topwater bite was on fire.
Oh, you can't leave. Yeah.
Yeah. There's an overhanging pile of brush here. There's like a big pile of brush, and all the people walking around, it was pretty thick. So I went all the way into the thickest brush right near the water, and I just unloaded a nice smooth dookie right into the water. It was like one of those no wipers. They're real clean.
Oh yeah.
You want when you're outdoors.
Those are nice. Yeah, those are very nice.
I swear, dude. a 3-pounder came right up to it and checked it out. It didn't eat it, but it checked it out. I was like, what the hell?
No freaking way.
I was like, you throw all these random lures that sometimes don't work, and then I just unloaded, like a 7-inch in the water, and literally just went out, check it out, and I was like, when you guys made the lunker log, I was like, oh man, maybe this is what they.
Dude, I was just about to say, you gave him a real life lunker log, dude.
right.
Jesus, wow! If he had ate it, that would have been even crazier. But
that would have been crazy.
Thank God he didn't eat it, because that kind of would have made me lose respect for largemouth bass if he had ate that.
Yeah.
I know they're pretty dumb, but geez,
they eat all kinds of dumb stuff when they're in the mood.
that's the damn truth. Wow, dude, that's amazing, man. Those are two amazing stories. But
One of the most organic, like most embarrassing moments I've had on the internet to this day is when Daryl caught on to me saying I daryled a fish.
that might be one of the best moments of the podcast of the year.
Gosh, it was such a intimate, like personal event that happened to Daryl.
Yeah, a little
Because
traumatizing.
If
too.
anything ever happened to his dog Maga, that would be like losing a son.
Yeah, his dog
know?
is his best friend,
Yeah.
and this especially like a little dog, a little lap dog,
And
innocent, pretty much.
yeah, and he caught on.
So a little backstory here. So our neighbor Daryl, who's been on the podcast before, and we'll play you guys this clip in just a minute. He accidentally smacked his dog upside the head one day with like a giant like tree branch because he was trying to throw it to another dog. And basically clubbed his dog, and it was unconscious.
Yeah.
Eyes would roll back. I mean, it looked like the dog was dead. It happened right in front of me and Badge.
Yep.
And of course, Daryl kind of freaked out and grabbed him, and he just said, "Oh, I just killed my dog." And then he drove him back up to the house, and luckily he was okay. But a couple weeks after that, of that happening, me and you went fishing. Maybe like later that day, I don't even know.
Yep.
And who brought the fish in, me or you?
I did.
You had swung a fish in and kind of hit him on the side of the boat.
Yep.
And you said you just Daryl'd him.
Yeah.
And then Daryl saw that in a video right
Yep.
after.
Yep.
And nobody else caught on to it, but he did. Yeah, that was. Daryl is just the GOAT anyways, but that was one of the funniest moments I can ever remember.
How many people have seen me knock my dog slam unconscious?
Luckily, we were not rolling cameras when that happened.
I'm talking about
Jesus.
Oh my God!
We were really concerned. That was a bad. That was not a good
that
day.
was bad, and
right
I was
there.
glad to see that wasn't on your film.
No, yeah,
but I
we wouldn't
did
have put-
see,
Jesus, we
which
wouldn't.
most people didn't notice. On one of your videos, and actually you and Badge had a big flare up over it, and I felt like I was guilty because I was kind of blame.
Uh-oh.
And Badge grabs a bass, and I see where y'all having problems because I'm giving Badge hell, and everybody's saying
Yeah.
Badge is a fuck up, and I'm responsible for it. He can't catch fish,
Right.
And I felt kind of bad about it at the time.
Don't feel bad.
Well, I don't now, but at the time I did.
Okay.
So Badge catches the fish. He pulls the fish up. He smacks the fish on the side of the boat.
Nice.
That's right.
And he said, I just Daryl'd him.
Did you leave that in a video?
Yes, he did.
Did you put that in a video?
No,
I don't know.
nobody knows what that meant but Megan. when I hit Megan upside the friggin' head with that
my
piece of lighter,
Leave that in a video.
with that piece of lighter knot, and knocked my. I mean, this dog sleeps with me. He eats with me. He takes a shower with me. I mean,
I did not mean to leave that in.
yes.
We
That
have
was,
to.
that was
And he's-
We got to take a break.
He said, I just Daryl'd him. And I said, oh my God.
man, I'm so sorry. That
No,
is-
wait, hold on. We're gonna circle back to that in a second. We gotta take a break. Okay, so I'm waiting for Badge to get his headphones on here. This is
Okay.
we've got like some breaking news here, and this is the most
Yes,
hilarious thing
this
I've ever
is
seen.
breaking news.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
gosh.
Okay. So I got to give a little bit of backstory on this. So a few weeks ago, off camera, and luckily everything turned out fine, but
Yes.
you were throwing a stick to Allie, which was the dog we were talking about earlier, who was
and
a
y'all
retriever.
were putting your feeder together.
and we were putting a feeder together.
Yes.
And you accidentally swung the
a
stick too
piece
low.
of firewood,
Yeah.
not a stick, but
Right.
a piece of firewood.
A thick,
Couple inches.
small log, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And accidentally hit Maga, the small dog, who was jumping at you probably. You
Yeah,
didn't
and
even
everybody's
notice.
seen Mag on the channel. I mean, he's
Yeah.
like 10.4 pounds.
Right, he's a tiny little dog.
Yeah, he's
And-
like me. He's a
and
tiny
you,
fella.
And
yeah.
you cracked him, and at the time, I mean, he was out.
Oh yeah, he was up. I don't know if y'all ever seen Ace Ventura: Pet Detective on the when he has that fake dog and the fake dog's laying with his legs up.
Yeah,
that's what my dog looked like.
It did.
I thought he was dead. I mean,
we did too.
And we were really concerned.
Oh,
You took
y'all
off.
were. Yeah, and I appreciate y'all checking up on
We
it
did.
later. Yes,
yeah,
y'all
we
did.
were thinking about it for 30 minutes afterwards.
And you didn't put it on the video, which I thought you would because you were doing a video. I'm thinking, I said, they're going to put it on video. I'm thinking,
we wouldn't do that.
We would never do that.
well, I know, but I thought you would because I didn't know how. I knew how Ayo was.
Right.
And I said, well,
Right.
maybe Lojo will keep him from doing it because I knew Ayo. He's an asshole. wasn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
No, we
thinking,
both were
maybe
really
Lojo
worried.
put his foot down. Said, no, we're not putting that shit on the video.
Yeah, I was trying.
But
Well, I know you
anyway, so the dog ended up being okay. Thank
Yeah,
God.
but I
And-
clocked his ass.
But you clocked him.
Knocked him unconscious.
Okay.
I'm
It was
talking
scary.
about eyes
It was scary,
rolled in
yeah.
the back of his head.
It was very scary.
Yes.
But, okay, so
Oh,
Badge, in a video that me and him did shortly after that,
So like a day or two later.
he was cranking in a fish, and me and him
Yes.
were talking about whatever, and he slaps it up against the side of the boat on entry, and he says, I just darrelled him.
I just darrelled him. And nobody caught it.
And you edit the videos, dude.
Yeah.
You left that in there?
He did. And
'Cause
I seen it.
I didn't even hear it.
Well, I know you did. And I commented on it. I said, Maga don't think that's funny. And I never heard nothing back from it. So I knew
my
that you didn't
God.
catch it. And I figured Badge didn't catch it. But I'm thinking,
But he
Maga-
edits the videos.
Yes.
Do you remember this?
I said,
I didn't mean to leave it in.
Mega.
I messed up.
Mega didn't think that was. Yeah, I just darrelled him.
Oh my
and
God.
it's the video.
I miss Daryl, man. I don't see him enough anymore.
Yeah, I know. I think he misses you too. I miss a lot of people. I just haven't been doing anything lately, man. I've
Yeah.
been on my ass for weeks, it seems like. I haven't been able to do stuff with Daryl and Neil. I hadn't been able to do stuff with the family that much. Hadn't been able to film with like you and Norm that much. It's been kind of I don't know, man. It's been a challenging time of year for all of us, I think. I guess that's just maybe how it is this time of year.
Yeah.
But
Flipping
you,
trucks and
yeah, you with your car crash and
being
then
stones.
me with my stone.
Dude, I was having some crazy back spasms like a week after the accident.
Yeah, I'm
like,
sure.
Like felt like a bag of snails was loose in my back. It's weird.
God,
It didn't hurt. It just was like,
back stuff is just so weird.
strange. Yeah.
Back injuries and back sensations and stuff are just, man, they're so weird.
Yeah. I was creeped out.
Yeah, but yeah, I miss. We definitely. Well, yeah, Neighbor Daryl's coming like really soon. He's going to be on like one of the next podcasts. So definitely stay tuned for old Neighbor Daryl. We have not heard the end of him. I can't believe I deleted that podcast that we made of him. That was such a good podcast.
Have we mentioned that on the podcast?
I think I did, yeah.
Gosh.
But yeah, I accidentally deleted one that we filmed with Daryl, and it was the best one ever.
It was so
the
good.
Best one.
It was so real, so organic. I just
Yeah.
feel like we're not going to be able to come back from that.
Well, we'll see. We're going to try our damnedest because according to him, that wasn't even like his best stories.
Yeah.
So he said he's got more stories. He said he didn't feel like he was on during that show. That's what
Oh,
he said.
okay.
So,
Okay.
Daryl's the GOAT. Oh my gosh. So one of my favorite things about this podcast, Badge, is all the guest hosts or like in-person guests that we've had.
It's so much
here.
better.
It's so much better. I mean, look, we do what we can, and plus with COVID, a lot of people just aren't traveling that much anyways. But I live out in the middle of nowhere.
We're not Joe Rogan.
We're not Joe Rogan. We can't afford to fly people out first class, put them in a hotel room for the night, and
Yep.
we can't. I mean, that would be great, but we can't do that. So we do the best we can with Zoom. We do a lot of these, video podcasts with other people, but I think my three favorite. Well, I can't even do three favorite, but we've had so many in-person guests. But I think the best night we ever had in here, like the best podcast, maybe not the best, but the most fun we ever had.
Yeah.
We had Fishing with Norm over there by you.
Yep.
We had Dev over here, right?
Yep.
Zayd, I think Zayd was here as well, right?
He was sleeping in the car. Yeah.
He was sleeping something.
Yeah.
We've been filming all day. And that's a real famous podcast because you were just not about it. You were
I was
just
not.
so over it. You did not want to be there. And me and Norm are just going down
Yeah.
the wormhole.
I was just watching the time. I was like, all right, 12:30, 1:30. I was like, I'm going to wreck and die.
Dude, but that ended up being though. The funny thing is, I named it like the worst podcast we've ever done, but
Yep.
it turned out to be really good, and people really enjoyed it. And YouTube liked it so much, it recommended it a lot because it like doubled up the average views
Wow.
of podcasts at that same time. So, yeah, it was if you guys don't remember, you don't believe me, things went off the rail a little bit. Things got a little haywire, but
I think sometimes we overthink the pod, dude.
in what way?
Like, I think people just enjoy watching us go off the rails.
No, I totally agree. 100%.
Just talk about the stupidest of things.
100%. Well, if you don't know what we're talking about, let me refresh your memory.
So if you could ride any enlarged animal into battle, what animal would you ride? Does it have to be real?
Elephant or rhino?
So you got to understand.
Wait,
all
enlarged animal.
So all of the animals would be the same size. So like a T-Rex size animal, like massive.
Okay.
But it could be any animal enlarged to that size. They're all the same size.
Oh, I
What
got
animal
mine.
would you ride?
Your mom?
Just kidding.
Let's go.
just
Angel
kidding.
Wings. Angel.
I'm
She's a
just
great
kidding.
lady.
I've never even met
And then
Jordan's
if you
mom.
had
I don't know.
100 medium-sized animals behind you in battle, what would those animals be too?
Jesus, that's
and that
very
could
complex.
be the same animal or different animals.
We should have just
How mu-
the first question.
We should probably wrap the podcast.
Oh,
No, that's too good of a question.
because I've got one too. Norm, what's your favorite animal with wings?
I was gonna say a Pokemon.
I was
Watch.
gonna say-
No, come on, man, real
No, I
animal,
was gonna say
dog.
like an owl, probably. Those
Owls
kinda
are dope.
Pelicans are dope because they gotta go like fish every day. They just get to hang out by the beach, eat some
And they're
fish.
pink. They're cool.
Yeah.
Did you say pelicans are pink?
That would be a
That's a flamingo.
Damn.
Yo,
It's not good.
yo, if you edit that out, I'm be so mad. You
He
better.
will. He will.
Dude, I'm sorry. I thought you said flamingo.
Yeah, I thought I
mean-
heard flamingo too. Man.
They don't even sound remotely alike.
As soon as my god,
Yeah.
as soon as you said it, just that pink bird popped into my mind. I don't know why. So pelican. Okay, so a pelican. Those are like the birds at the beach, like those white.
No, those are seagulls.
Good Lord, man.
You not know what a pelican is?
This man right here. Let's move on from the freaking bird talk, man. If this man says anything else, he's done
Smidge.
for the night. We're gonna have to just cut it with no outro. Look, here's what we need to talk about.
Hold on a second. I didn't know what a pelican is. I just know what a pelican is. 'cause I'm
no service.
It's that's the one with the big mouth. The-
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
From like Finding
Okay.
Nemo.
Yeah. Okay.
It's my
I got
mic.
it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the origin of Dangling with Dev's YouTube channel.
Origin.
I
Is that
messed
what
up.
you just said?
I messed up. I tried to
man.
write it out. We just watched a clip of you calling a
Yeah.
flamingo a pelican. So
Well, I wasn't on planet Earth that night, but it's all good. So what? That was the birth of Danglin' Dev. Oh, that's right, because I think we said something about him
Yeah.
making a YouTube channel.
we kept roasting him that whole trip. Every time he tried to say anything to me, I would be like, "At least have a channel."
Yeah. Well, that definitely inspired him. Did you see his like a recent video he made
With
That
the
had, like, a
Karen?
gun?
Yeah, I was like, "Golly, Dev, you
Can
try
we
to get them
please-
views, man."
If we have this image, can we please put his thumbnail on the screen right now?
I watched it too.
Oh my god!
I was like, "That gummit, Dev."
I couldn't believe YouTube like even allowed him to put that on there.
Dude, he
He's like
was-
pointing a Glock at a lady's face. What? Have you seen it, Andrew? Too?
It is intense. I was
Oh,
like,
man.
"Dang, Dev."
Please, we
I
gotta
know-
make a note to screenshot that today so we can see it.
I know you spent a year underwater, but golly, man.
Oh man, it went really hard. The title was something really hard too, but
I miss Dev though.
yeah, it was good times, man. I love the crew, the Norm crew when they come around. You know,
Yeah.
Zayd, Norm, Dev. It's kind of a package deal, you know. And you know when Yak's around, sometimes it's fun.
Yeah.
So it's a good little crew environment, you know, out here. It does suck. It would be nice if we lived a little bit closer, just a little bit.
Yeah,
you know.
same.
Like an hour closer would probably
If we-
make a world
yeah.
of difference.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Like if I lived where he lived, because he lives closer to the river, like where Fort Gaines is.
Okay.
So you're a lot closer to that then.
Yeah.
You got to be.
And if I lived like below Columbus somewhere,
No.
dude, that would be nice.
Well, you are going to be moving soon, most likely, right? Or buying a house at some point in this next year or two. I got to imagine you got to.
I'm hoping by the end of this year I'll be looking.
Yeah. You got to
So-
be, man. The market's so good, dude.
Oh.
Interest rates. Well, the market sucks because the prices are high, but
I want to. I just, I'm getting a new truck. Probably gonna take on a few more boat projects. I'm just trying to take one step at a time.
for sure, man, you can't overextend yourself, even though you really want something. But
Yeah.
yeah, well, that'll be cool though. It'll be all right. We'll I don't even know what we were talking about, living far apart. But I guess just collaboration-wise, wish we were
Should I
closer.
show you a boat I've been looking at? You can't say anything.
Please do. Is this a fixer-upper restoration project, potentially?
It's a little bit, it's more of a conversion of sorts.
Man, why does your mic sound so much better than mine?
I think my voice is just better.
You think so? Because it's just like mine is, I don't know. My voice is pretty dumb.
Nah, dog.
Are we still podcasting, or is this like you just want to show me?
I was thinking, I mean, if you want to put it in the podcast.
If you want to screenshot it and send it and let us put it in the podcast.
I don't know if the people can see it yet.
No. Well, well, what are we supposed to be reacting to then?
It's just your reaction. I'm just trying to build up hype for my own channel.
Yeah. Damn it.
Well, I don't have service, so I'm sorry.
Okay. Well,
Looking at a boat.
Let's just, yeah.
Cut that whole thing out,
Let's
Andrew.
just imagine that you just showed me a really cool boat.
Whoa!
Oh, man, that was awesome.
I can't believe it.
I cannot believe it.
Is that a boat?
Yeah. So.
What do you want to do this year, man? What's your New Year's resolutions?
Well, besides drink more water and avoid kidney stones, that's my number one goal in life right now after what I've just been through.
All right.
But I don't know, man. Me and you talk about this a lot off camera.
Yeah.
And I mean, God, if we could put those conversations on a podcast, that'd be some wild conversations.
It
but
would be.
I mean, you know, you're kind of going down this road where it's like it's fishing YouTube, but it's more like boat. It's like boat stuff. You know what I mean? Which I think is awesome because it's kind of been an untapped area in the fishing realm.
Right.
Because there's boat channels, but there's not a lot of fishing channels who also can restore a boat and have a bunch of weird kind of boats. You know, it's a niche.
Yeah.
It's a niche or whatever. And you filled it really good. But there's kind of like a conundrum for me because on one hand, I'd kind of like to go down that path because I like evolving with the world and adapting. And if YouTube is really liking that, well, I like boats, you know. I'd love to learn about something new. So I'd love to kind of start transitioning into that kind of
boat
what
boys.
you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right, boat boys. Yeah, two boys in boats. But I mean, you know, I've got a shop here. You know, this is an easy. If I reconfigured this, I could get another boat in here to work on easily. And you know, I mean, I'll have the time. It's about to be cold. You know, so could start something new this year. You know, maybe get boat project. I've been thinking about like an old bass boat, something. You know,
should, man.
Just to mess around with.
You should.
And you know, and just be able to learn some stuff. I just love to learn more about boats in general. I'm sure you, since you've started like work on these boats, you've probably learned a ton about boats just from, you know, putting your hands on them.
I've learned a ton. I feel like I haven't revealed anything. I don't want to reveal too much, but
yeah, for sure.
With fiberglass and stringers, and there's so much that goes into a bigger boat, like the one I have. I feel like a bass boat would be a much easier thing to do, but it would also be a challenge, but it wouldn't be like too much.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally, 100%. Yeah, there's a line in there for sure. And that's the thing with me is like I've got a family. You know what I mean? Like I can't. That's not a downside, but it's one of them things when you've got a wife and kids and you're dedicated to them. It's hard to find that time to put like hours into a boat. You know what I mean? But I'd like to do it. I still am gonna fish this year for sure. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna be fishing some kind. You know, me and Andrew too. You know, we're doing a lot of hunting and stuff right now for Uncut, but we'll be back in the fishing, you know, realm when it gets to be time. In fact, we're going to go to Vermont here in a couple months. Hopefully, you might come with me.
Really?
Well, I hope. That's where that whole ice fishing thing. Basically got a whole damn trip planned already.
When you going?
Well, the dates is the only thing we haven't decided yet. But as far as like the activity, we're talking about like, you know, crazy ice stuff, ice fishing and snowmobiles, hundreds of acres of riding courses and stuff, hunting coy wolves, which is like a coyote wolf hybrid.
What the heck?
It's a huge coyote. Jeez. They've got those up there. I think there are some migratory birds too, maybe that are in season or something. But
oh heck,
a lot of stuff can be done up there. Oh, they got big bobcats and stuff too, like to hunt.
That's wild, dude.
So yeah, but I was hopefully maybe we can all do that for a little ice fishing send.
That would be cool.
And y'all don't have to be there the whole time if we're doing like some hunting and shooting stuff. You know, we can do that a couple days after you guys leave or something like that. But we could definitely get together and do a big ascend. And none of us have ever ice fished before, me, you, and Norm. So
facts. That
would be kind of dope. And these people, you know, they seem to know what they're doing. They've been living up there for a long time, so I think they're dialed.
That would be Pretty intense.
Mendak, that's also somebody we've had on the show, and Seek One. We forgot about those two guys too. That just popped into my head. Like I started thinking about hunting, and I was like, oh god, we've had Mendak and Seek One on too.
What was Mendak's name on Zoom?
Oh my gosh, what was
Is
it?
it like Daddy 69 or something?
It was something like that. Like Slayman 69 or something. Because their last name's like Layman, so they say Slayman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang, intense.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, them boys know what they're doing down there. Up there in the Dakotas.
Okay.
You always got to take it some other way, man.
What do you mean, that Slay Man? Man, don't take Slay Man a different way, man.
Oh, well, that's not what I was talking about, but it's all good. It's fine. What are you going to do this year besides the obvious, like the boat stuff that we talked about?
I don't know, man.
Because, I can't imagine you're just going to be doing a houseboat forever. I mean, I feel like you're going to end up kind of
I want to
branching
transition to traveling as well.
Yeah.
I want to take that boat around everywhere.
Yeah. Got to get it floatable first. You know?
I want to do a ton of like camping and just exploring around the U.S. with that, and maybe introduce a few new boats to the arsenal.
Absolutely.
Go from there.
Because you still need a bass boat. I mean, some kind of way.
Yeah.
At least I think you do.
And I need like I want to do a lot of fishing off the houseboat too.
For sure.
Like rig it up in a really weird. I just want something different, man. I think the boat is that, so I'm gonna spare no expense. I was crunching numbers the other day, and after it's all said and done, I think it's gonna cost like $25,000.
Yeah. To do everything.
To do everything.
Man, but that's like a complete remodel, though, right?
Complete.
That's inside and out, motor and everything.
Motor, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, that's not, that's a hell of a project, but that's doable,
Yeah, it's cool because with YouTube, like, we're able to do things that in real life we shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah.
That's why I feel the obligation to take. Oh, why are we talking about my houseboat right now?
What?
I just feel like it always swaps to like, dude, I have a houseboat.
Well, we're talking about next year, so.
Okay, yeah.
We're talking about what we're doing. So.
Well, I'm going to take the money I made from the houseboat videos and the sponsors, pour it back into the boat, travel, and then get other boat projects that are just like the most bizarre, weird boats I can find.
Maybe stuff not quite as big and expensive, but like, smaller projects that you can maintain. Yeah. No, totally, man. That's exactly the kind of appeal that I have to it is just, see an old crappy boat somewhere and just go buy it.
Yep.
And just go try to get it, try to get it running, try to get it on the water, try to make it look decent,
I want to get like a fiberglass shop one day, like not a public, but have like a shop where I could do all my projects.
Well, that would be next level dreams right there.
Yeah.
That's like dream house status right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I think the houseboat stuff's doing well, obviously, but yeah, I think boating is the way, man. I think that's the next year for me too. I'm sure I'll end up in that realm at least a little bit, maybe not exclusively, because I want to get back to my roots a little bit this year too. I want to get back to some like challenges and store vlogs, because even though I feel like I've outgrown them in a lot of ways, that's still what built the channel, and that's still what people still at the end of the day. There's a lot of people that like to see that, and I was one of the people who helped popularize that style of video. So because of that, I'd like to kind of go back to it and explore it some again.
Dude, I've been begging you to do this. I think we should maybe mention this on the pod. You can cut it if you don't want this going out, but I feel like Lojo would be the best guy in the fishing industry to dip his toes into car rebuilds and car restorations and stuff like that, because you're just such a vehicle guy.
Yeah.
And I know you're always like, what, you can't take that out on the water and do fishing, but
yeah, that's the only problem for me.
I don't know though.
People can let us know in the comment section. That's just, at the end of the day, it's like you've got a fishing audience, Well, I do,
Well, Flair did too, and now he's got a camel.
Yeah, but the farm has got so many different aspects other than just like restoring cars. I don't know though. Anything's possible. Never say never. That's one thing I've learned is never like turn your nose up at an opportunity that might be there later on.
Sometimes I can just see thumbnails in my head, and I just see like the way you look with the beard and like a jack dude working on like I don't know, like an old Camaro or something. It just fits you,
Well, thank you, man. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, dude.
No, dude, I definitely see life in terms of thumbnails sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just see a thumbnail. It's the weirdest thing. It's so weird. And I suck at making thumbnails now.
No.
Just suck. No. I have all these grand ideas. At the end of the day, I'm just like, just use the normal one.
Yeah.
What was your favorite moment this year, man? I mean, from a podcast perspective, like give me like your favorite guest or your favorite podcast, your favorite moment. Just give me something.
It was cool to get to know Jiggin on the podcast because that was when things for me came full turn. Because in high school, Jiggin and D Almighty, those guys were like 45 minutes down the road from me.
Okay.
And then like I was like, dude, I think I could do that. And then 4 years later,
wow, that's crazy.
I'm sitting at a podcast table just talking,
Talking with him, just chilling, accusing him of planning stuff.
Yeah, and it flopped. That joke. Dude, we should make a compilation of all my jokes that flopped.
Oh, you gotta commit to them, man. You gotta come in hard and fast, like you want to do. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, all my jokes just kind of stumble out.
Yeah, it's because you're afraid to hit people with like the full ether. Like you just need to let it fly. You just need to do it.
I feel like success in whatever you're doing can allow you to be yourself even more.
100%.
Because you're not scared. Like now that I feel somewhat established, I feel like I can say some of the messed up things in my head.
100%. Because now you bring value to the table. You know what I mean? Now you're bringing something to the table.
You're not just the random camera guy throwing heat at everybody.
Right, exactly. Now you're trolling people, but you're actually living the life that they live. You know what I mean? So
I was just throwing heat out.
Just from behind the camera, just
people are like,
yelling
who
at
is
people.
this guy, dude?
No, man. Who's your favorite guest?
Favorite guest? Dude, I had so much fun with Norm coming on.
Damn, Norm was so much fun.
He was, dude.
Daryl was great.
Daryl's my favorite.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But see, we lost that second podcast, so it kind of loses its oomph. If we had two podcasts with Neighbor Daryl and they both had gone so hard, which I know the second one would have went hard too, then, it would have been a little bit better. But
who is your worst guess? Then just the wheels are like.
No, I'm going to answer. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think like. Oh man.
Yeah. There we go, baby.
Well, my least favorite podcast. I had this answered in my head earlier. Now I've forgotten. There was a podcast that we did that was like my least favorite podcast, but I can't remember.
Guess, man. I asked you which guess.
You asked me a terrible question.
Yeah, you're ducking and dodging, baby.
I mean, I think you know what? I'll give you two that I just didn't think were very good. Two podcasts. Okay. I don't even know why, but the individual one that we did with Norm and the individual one we did with Yak. Now the group ones that we've done with when they were incorporated in there, I thought were really good, but for them, those were just kind of like, yeah, a little boring, a little slow. I like more of like the non-scripted. We've had a couple daiquiris at dinner, and now we're just kind of talk about what animals we want to ride into battle. Like that's kind of more my speed as far as podcast. When people are here, it's different when we have a guest like on the phone. Then you kind of need to be able to like steer the conversation and keep them talking. But when people are here, you don't have to do that as much.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to be involved in the conversation because we're all just sitting here like bros.
Yep.
So now I think my favorite was that one with me, you, Norm, and Dev. If not Daryl, that may be my favorite one.
Yeah, those are pretty much tied.
Yeah,
pretty much tied.
The Flair ones have been gotten the most views because because it's Flair, but they're pretty simple podcasts. Just kind of talking about what's going on in his life because he's got a very interesting life. But oh man, there's been so many good ones, man. I love doing that hunting one back when YouTube was trying to crack down.
That was cool.
And being able to give Mendak and Seek One. Of course, they've got a voice on their own. They don't need us to have a voice, but
back them up.
Yeah, back them up. Show them some love. Show them some support. And YouTube's kind of fixed the issue, but it's never going to be really fixed. So
it'll be weird forever, but there's a solution.
Eventually, hunting is just not going to be allowed. Eventually, and YouTube can say whatever they want, but this is going to happen. It's a fact. So, what are you going to do? But any hunting in your future besides duck hunting with me tonight?
I don't know.
But you didn't bring your waders.
Don't need them.
Just gonna tough it out.
I thought you only duck hunt in the morning if you're gonna hunt on a roost, because hunting in the evenings will like squig it up.
I don't know.
I doubt you care that much.
Well, I just want to get a couple good hunts in. You know,
Yeah.
I don't care about like hunting the entire season successfully. I just want to like succeed at it once or
Yeah.
twice. You know.
Well, give me some Bucks merch and
You want bucks or ducks?
oh,
Because I mean,
I want
you
the
gotta get it
hybrid.
right.
I want that.
The bucks ducks hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that ducks with little bucks.
Hey, there's a bunch of new merch on the website, man. Me and Andrew too are completely outfitted. So
I think I'm about to drop a merch line.
yeah, what are you gonna call it?
Boats
Boats? What?
with an X.
Boats with an X. Boats. Oh
Boats.
God. Yeah. Well, I think we've gone off the rails. I think that's our signal. Badge is putting his head down. He's sleepy over there.
Nah, dog. Chilling. You fed me. You fed me just.
I know. I gave you a
most
monster.
carved up. Yeah.
That thing was good though, wasn't
It
it?
was good.
I cooked you a special, like a breakfast burrito type thing. It's so freaking good.
It's so good, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this has been one hell of a year, man. We just want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you guys for listening, watching, liking, subscribing, following, all that stuff. That's what makes the podcast go. I guess we're going to do this for one more year. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure it all out, but should do this another year, most likely. I mean,
Looking that way.
it's a good little show. I don't think we should give up on her yet. Moving it to another channel definitely had its challenges,
Yeah.
but
And now that we have to make it a mobile thing, you know.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, with me and you traveling as much as we do, it's just so hard to get together and film a ton of podcasts.
We're going to have to buy a van.
We're just going to have two podcast studios.
I
We're
was
just going to
thinking
have
that.
one at your house too,
Like we could have
which we could easily do.
It might honestly be cool to do it inside my houseboat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. If we could get it set up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For sure.
Well,
There you
Yeah.
go. If that's something you guys want to see, podcasting on the houseboat. We can certainly do it.
boat talks.
Maybe we could live stream from in there too.
You never
potentially.
know. I mean, I don't have Wi-Fi, but we could take it somewhere.
I'm
with
saying
Wi-Fi,
if we had it somewhere with
just go
Wi-Fi,
park it at McDonald's.
freaking why not?
Yep.
Let's freaking send it. Well, anyways, thank you for joining us this year and today on this podcast, guys. Thank you for everything you guys have done for us. We'll keep on bringing the heat. Get in the comment section and let us know people you want to see on the podcast, subjects you want us to talk about, all that good stuff.
Yep.
We pay attention to the comment section. It's where I get a lot of inspiration from throughout my career. So anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching, listening, and everything. Love you, folks. Make sure to check out shopcarls.com in the description. We are out of here.